Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, elder bishops at the great millstone who do rule and teach well. Peace and blessings to the brothers pushing this truth, laboring in all diligence, righteousness, and sincerity, pushing this gospel to the four corners of the earth, so that we may be saved and escape the trying times, the evils coming upon the planet Earth. Also, shalom to the sincere believers out there, listening and learning the Akim and the Akwath. All right. So, continuing on with this theme of censorship, basically making a man an offender for a word, which is what the elites in this time are pushing. They're pushing mass censorship. They don't want people to ask questions. Anyone who bucks up against the narrative that's been set in place, which is the mainstream narrative, they're coming down hard on people that are bucking up against that. And the reason why this is happening is because they're losing the war on information. They no longer control the narrative. They're not able to just pull the wool over your eyes and tell you one thing and you don't know any better to look for yourself. We live in the information age where everyone has a smartphone. There are a plethora of independent media, news outlets that people are getting information from. Pretty much the day and time we're in now, no one trusts mainstream media. No one listens to mainstream media. Yeah, it's okay to get headlines from them, but as far as the narrative, the truth of what the matter is false. They're going to give you a narrative that suits their position, that suits their interests, not what the truth is. And going into that, Tucker Carlson just recently did an interview with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And it hasn't released yet. I think it's going to release on his website, he said. But this is a big deal. And once again, going into they want to control the narrative, Tucker Carlson, he's gone straight to the source. Okay, because since this whole Russia-Ukraine thing popped off, it's been a one-sided narrative. It's been, oh, Russia is the boogeyman. Russia did this, Russia did that. But there's two sides to every story, and only one side of the story has been given for these past 2 years that this war in Ukraine has been going on. And this war in Ukraine has pretty much jumped off all kind of conflicts all across the world, which we know that all goes back to biblical prophecy. You know, this is the Lord gathering these nations together continually for war, and ultimately they're going to gather themselves in the so-called Middle East, in the region of Israel, to do the final battle, World War III, Armageddon, the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment. So we see in this time things are heating up continually each and every day. The Lord is increasing the spirit of war, strife, and contention and confusion within the earth. But I want to play this video from Tucker Carlson. You know, it's a 4-minute video, not too long. And he's basically going to explain why he's doing this interview, which, the things that he's saying is not anything that we don't already know. But again, we're in a time where truth is coming forth. Things must be exposed before the end must come. So without further ado, let's get into this.
We're in Moscow tonight. We're here to interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. We'll be doing that soon. There are risks to conducting an interview like this, obviously. So we thought about it carefully over many months. Here's why we're doing it. First, because it's our job. We're in journalism. Our duty is to inform people. 2 years into a war that's...
And let me stop here real quick, because he said this is journalism. This is our job. And what you're missing in today's mainstream media is actual journalism. They're not giving you the truth of the matter. See, they're not journalists, they're more of reporters. See, they're given a script to read from, they're given a narrative to read from. and they push that unto the people. You see, but one thing about the mainstream media, they've told so many lies to the point where it just doesn't make sense anymore. See, they've told so many lies to the point where, because the thing is, when you tell a lie, you have to keep that lie going. All right? Unless you tell the truth, you have to keep that lie going. So the more lies you tell, you start to forget the last lie that you told. Then you have to tell another lie to cover that up. Then you have to bring another lie, and you have to try to make it make sense. But after a while, it no longer makes sense. And this is the point that we're at with the narrative that has been pushed for all these years and years and years. Okay, people are finding out now. The war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, when they killed Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, the stuff they're trying to do with Iran. And really, once that Israel-Gaza thing popped off, people saw right through that. People saw right through, because the Western media, they were pushing the narrative against Gaza, saying that, oh, Gaza's doing this and, whatever. But Israel, the whole time, they were the aggressor. They were the ones that brought the terror to that land. So that made people's eyes open up and say, hold on, wait a minute. If they're lying about this, then what else are they lying about? So Tucker Carlson, he's going into it like, nah, listen, we got to get the other side of what's really going on, because our government is never going to tell us, because that's against their interests. See, and really they want to keep people in the dark so that they don't ask questions, that they don't wake up, because the elites, they just want good little sheep that are going to take orders and follow directions. See, they don't want a populace that is going to question anything. And I'll read this real quick in Isaiah 60:2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, which darkness has covered the earth. Outside of the hopeful elect, the true believers of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, the whole of the earth is in darkness. Yeah, you do have some people that know certain things, but they don't understand the real why of why things are going down the way that they're going down. Yeah, they can see there's war, they can see there's confusion, they can see that there's contention amongst the nations, and that we're living in some unprecedented times, but they don't understand what the end of all this is. They don't understand why it's happening. See, why can't we just be at peace? Why can't we just live happily ever after, and everybody put the guns down, everybody put their missiles up, destroy their weapons of mass destruction? Why can't we live in a world that's like that? Well, the thing they don't understand is that this is the will of the Heavenly Father that these things happen this way. That's what they're missing. See, but only the hopefully elect of the Lord are going to understand that. Okay, the rest are going to be blinded. In gross darkness, the people. Yeah, these people are in gross darkness. It's like you're in a room and you got your blinds open. Some light is coming in, but you're still in the dark. It's not until you close those blinds up, now you're in complete darkness. You're in gross darkness, and you're trying to feel your way through. You're trying to find your way around. Well, when you're walking around trying to make sense of the dark, you're going to stumble, you're going to fall, and you're going to hurt yourself. Okay, which is that's the state that these people are in. They're confused. They don't know where they're at. They don't know what's going on. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. See? So right now, the Lord, he's peeling back that darkness, man. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost with the prophets, and also the true believers. All right, so let me continue on with this.
It's reshaping the entire world. Most Americans are not informed. They have no real idea what's happening in this region, here in Russia or 600 miles away in Ukraine. But they should know. They're paying for much of it in ways they might not fully yet perceive. The war in Ukraine is a human disaster. It's left hundreds of thousands of people dead, an entire generation of young Ukrainians, and it's depopulated the largest country in Europe. But the long-term effects are even more profound. This war has utterly reshaped the global military and trade alliances, and the sanctions that followed have as well. And in total, they have upended the world economy. The post-World War II economic order, the system that guaranteed prosperity in the West for more than 80 years, is coming apart very fast, and along with it, the dominance of the US dollar. These are not small changes. They are history-altering developments. They will define the lives of our grandchildren. Most of the world understands this perfectly well. They can see it. Ask anyone in Asia or the Middle East what the future looks like. And yet the populations of the English-speaking countries seem mostly unaware. They think that nothing has really changed. And they think that because no one has told them the truth. Their media outlets are corrupt. They lie to their readers and viewers. And they do that mostly by omission. For example, since the day the war in Ukraine began, American media outlets have spoken to scores of people from Ukraine, and they've done scores of interviews with Ukrainian President Zelensky. We ourselves have put in a request for an interview with Zelensky, and we hope he accepts. But the interviews he's already done in the United States are not traditional interviews.
Yeah, everything that they've pushed have been lies. Okay, and let me read this in Job 13:4. And it says, "But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value." And that's all that they've done, starting with the elites. Okay, they've pushed lies onto the people. They've told you one thing, but it's actually another. Prime example, the CV-19, they told you one thing, but look at how many people are perishing behind that. As a matter of fact, I had a lady tell me today that her uncle, and I think she said he was 64 years old, but he died of a heart attack in his sleep, all of a sudden, and it, really messed her up. Everybody was caught off guard. Now they trying to get together, funds for burial and all kind of stuff, man. But look, that's not the only case. Many people are going back to the spirit world or have complications from the lies that they received from their own government. All right, then you got Elon Musk coming with this Neuralink brain chip, and that's supposed to heal people of their ailments. Well, many of the ailments that these people have was actually brought on by that snake venom. So now the solution is to come in, and people are desperate. If somebody comes along and tells you that, hey, you can walk again, or you're going to be able to see, or you can get your cognitive function back to what it was, all you got to do is insert a chip into your brain and you can be normal again. Well, that's very enticing, but the whole problem of why people are even like that is because of these devils, because of the lies that they've pushed. These physicians of no value, man. All right. And as it says in Jeremiah 19, and I believe that's going to be even more profound once this interview does come out. All right. As it says in Jeremiah 19, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and declare that our fathers have inherited us lies and things wherein there is no profit. And even right now, a lot of these American Edomites, even more so the European Edomites, okay, they're seeing that their leaders have told them nothing but lies. That down to history, down to health information, down to what life is supposed to be, it's all been a lie. And the Lord, he's pulling back the veil on those lies to expose the wicked, to expose the devil. Because we're at the time of the end where the man of sin must be exposed, where the man of sin must be revealed. Okay? So this is all a part of that man of sin being revealed. Okay, his wickedness being uncovered. It speaks about that in Obadiah as well. It says that I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, man. So yeah, indeed, all the secret and hidden things of Esau are being searched out in this time. And what's coming of that? Shame is coming upon his glory. All right, now it's common knowledge that the government, everybody that's involved in government are pretty much Satanists, that they've sold out. All right, that they are not in there for the interest of the people, that they're in there for the interest of the elites. Didn't Klaus Schwab himself say that we have penetrated all Western cabinets? And this is why you're seeing the same agenda pushed in America, in Canada, in South America, in Europe, predominantly. They all pushing the same thing, which is death, confusion, unrighteous decrees, all sorts of evil and wickedness that should not be if there was a righteous rulership upon this earth. But of course we know that's not the case. All right. So yeah, man, well, the further along that we get, the closer we get to the end, more of these lies are going to be expounded upon. And the closer we get to the end, the more profound it will be, because, people have been conditioned to believe a certain narrative for so long that when the truth does come out, it's going to shock them. It's going to shock them to their core, man. Let's continue.
They are fawning pep sessions specifically designed to amplify Zelensky's demand that the U.S. enter more deeply into a war in Eastern Europe and pay for it. That is not journalism. It is government propaganda. Propaganda of the ugliest kind, the kind that kills people. At the same time, our politicians and media outlets have been doing this, promoting a foreign leader like he's a new consumer brand. Not a single Western journalist has bothered to interview the president of the other country involved in this conflict, Vladimir Putin. Most Americans have no idea why Putin invaded Ukraine or what his goals are now. They've never heard his voice. That's wrong. Americans have a right to know all they can about a war they're implicated in, and we have the right to tell them about it because we are Americans too. Freedom of speech is our birthright. We were born with the right to say what we believe. That right cannot be taken away no matter who is in the White House. But they're trying anyway. Almost 3 years ago, the Biden administration illegally spied on our text messages and then leaked the contents to their servants in the news media. They did this in order to stop a Putin interview that we were planning. Last month, we're pretty certain they did exactly the same thing once again. But this time, we came to Moscow anyway. We are not here because we love Vladimir Putin. We are here because we love the United States, and we want it to remain prosperous and free. We paid for this trip ourselves.
And the United States is not going to remain prosperous and free. As a matter of fact, the United States is not even going to be a nation very soon come. This place is going to be destroyed. See, because and again, this goes back to the point of these people may see certain things and be able to understand it to a certain degree, but they don't have the spirit. They're not tapped into the Rakakadash to understand the full scope of the situation. See, Tucker Carlson, he doesn't believe and understand that America will be destroyed. See, because he's against the so-called woke agenda, which is pretty much woke is bringing out the truth of how America was founded, which the truth of the matter is America was founded upon a rape, robbery, murder, and exploitation, all right, of the Israelites. Okay, that's how America became great. That's how it became what it is. Well, guess what? Wickedness don't prosper forever, man. And what we're all living through is the fall of an empire. What we're all living through is the collapse of America, which is Babylon the Great. Okay, mystery Babylon, according to the scriptures, man. This place is set to fall, just like all the other kingdoms fell. America was supposed to have a set time to rule upon the earth, and then it was going to come to an end, because the wickedness that was done here to the Lord's people, it must be repaid with blood. All right. And this land is going to be cleansed by the blood of those that shed the innocent blood, man, of the Israelites. Okay, that's what Tucker don't understand. So he claims he's doing this because he loves America. Well, your beloved America real soon is about to be no more. This place is about to be leveled out by nuclear missiles, man, and ultimately by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai and the host of heaven. But let's continue.
We took no money from any government or group, nor are we charging people to see the interview. It is not behind a paywall. Anyone can watch the entire thing, shot live to tape and unedited, on our website, tuckercarlson.com. Elon Musk, to his great credit, has promised not to suppress or block this interview once we post it on his platform, X, and we're grateful for that. Western governments, by contrast, will certainly do their best to censor this video on other less principled platforms because that's what they do. They are afraid of information they can't control. But you have no reason to be afraid of it. We are not encouraging you to agree with what Putin may say in this interview, but we are urging you to watch it. You should know as much as you can. And then, like a free citizen and not a slave, You can decide for yourself.
And I really think that they're going to do something to this guy. You know, I think once this interview comes out, because look, this video has 1 million plus views. Okay. So a lot of people are anticipating this interview with Tucker Carlson. Comments say FJB and FCNN, MSNBC, CBS, Fox, and the rest of the BS media. God bless and protect UTC. Full support from the Philippines. You see? You know, so you got people from different countries tapping in. So look, man, this deception is not just in America. This thing has been pushed worldwide. You see? This thing been pushed worldwide, man. You got Russians tapping in. Hey, so look, the wicked is being exposed, but you know, I really believe that they're gonna silence this dude, man. You know, and I don't even think he might come back to America, because you know, like as he said that the implications for doing this interview are great. So he's well aware that he's putting his life on the line to do this. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is why they're gonna have to shut down the internet, because they're offering this for free. This is available to anyone that wants to watch it. And if this video here got 1 million plus views, imagine how much the video with Putin is going to get. That's about to go crazy. So we're definitely in those times where, you know, things are about to be blown up big time. Okay, let's not forget what happened to this guy, Gonzalo Lira, speaking about that Russia-Ukraine situation. You know, this was a guy that was you know, he was a real journalist in Ukraine, and he was bringing out the truth of the matter of why that whole war was going on. Okay, he even brought out the fact that America, they destroyed the Nord Stream pipeline, all right, and went against their own NATO allies. And what ended up happening to him? Okay, let's read a little bit of this. Gonzalo, you may have heard his name before. Gonzalo Lira was a Chilean American novelist, filmmaker, commentator, and self-styled dating coach. He was involved in the manosphere, posting anti-feminist content under the name Coach Red Pill. As a resident of Kharkiv, Ukraine, okay, that's where he was living at the time, you know, and you know, he, you know, during the time, you know, when that whole thing first popped off, he was like the main guy on like Rumble, Odyssey, even on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually did a couple lessons going into a few of his commentaries, you know, but he was one of the main guys that was on the ground, you know, bringing out the truth of what was going on in Ukraine against the American propaganda. You see, because he wasn't controlled by the mainstream media. He was an independent journalist. You see, so he was outside of the mainstream propaganda. So when you listen to him, you was getting the real scoop on what was going down. All right. It says he vlogged about the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine and was described, pay attention, as spreading Russian disinformation and propaganda. So here is a cause for him to eventually be arrested, put in jail, and eventually he died in jail on January 12th. In April 2022, Lira briefly disappeared and claimed to have been detained by the Secret Service of Ukraine. So you see, even in this truth, right, brothers, we have to understand, right? See, because coming to serve the Lord, you have to understand what you're involved in. We are in a world that is anti-truth. We are in a world that is anti-Hamashiach. All right, look at Yahweh Shai. When Yahweh Shai came on the earth, he spoke nothing but the truth, the 100% truth, right? And the powers that be hated him, okay? His own people hated him. So much so to the point where they wanted to put him to death. They wanted to throw Yahweh Shah in prison. They wanted to silence him, right? Well, how much more or how much less us? You know, the scriptures say that the servant is not greater than the master. So all that Yahweh Shah had to go through, we're going to have to go through the same things, because we hold this testimony, but even worldly people that are not in the truth, even they're being persecuted, and this all goes into Jacob's trouble. Okay. Where the true believers, we're going to be persecuted, man. Okay. We're going to get rolled on because of the testimony that we hold, you see? Yeah. So they detained him. He went missing. And in May 2023, Lira was arrested and charged with producing and publishing material that attempted to justify the ongoing Russian invasion, right? Because he was basically saying that Russia is justified in defending itself against the West. Because, we already know the whole thing of what was going on with that. America, they was trying to set up nuclear bases in Ukraine from which they could strike Russia directly from Ukraine, which Russia wasn't having that. Okay, because Ukraine is like right there in Russia's backyard. So Russia went in, Putin gave the order, sent in the troops, and saying that that's when the whole war popped off. So he was saying that, yeah, Russia is justified in defending itself against the evil West. And because of that, they rolled on him and they detained him and threw him in prison and charged him for publishing material that is anti-mainstream. So what does that go into? Making a man an offender for a word, okay? Demonizing you because you speak the truth. These are the times that we're in. It's not no getting away from it, which is illegal under Ukrainian law. Lira was released on bail, but attempted to flee the country. He was arrested again for violating his bail conditions and died of pneumonia in custody on January 12th, 2024. Okay, so Gonzalo Lira, he was a martyr for the truth, and he wasn't even proclaiming the truth of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. He was just bringing out, truth that was against the mainstream narrative of the Western media, and he was killed for that. So again, man, how much more the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua? You see? How much more us, man? That we got this here. Tucker Carlson put on Ukrainian government's Myrotvorets, I can't even say that, kill list following Putin interview. Okay, and like he mentioned, he understands the danger of doing his interview. All right. So now he's on the hit list. You see, now he's on the hit list because he did his interview, which who knows, maybe he's willing to die for this cause. Maybe he's willing to, hey, who knows, man? But he did it. He can't take it back. And if Tucker Carlson does come up missing after this interview is released, then everyone is gonna know why. Okay, but we're in a time where this devil, he don't give a damn. Okay, whether you know why certain people come up missing or not, he's still gonna do it, because what the hell are you gonna do about it? And Esau, once if he can't control the narrative, his last resort is to come at you with the sword. See, he just gonna be the devil straight up, Myrotvorets is a Kyiv-based website that publishes a running list and often personal information of people who are considered to be enemies of Ukraine, or as the website states, people whose actions have signs of crimes against the national security of Ukraine, peace, human security, and the international law. According to the Kyiv regime, Carlson has been designated an enemy of Ukraine due to his as yet unseen interview with Putin, which Ukraine President Zelensky's government fears will weaken Western resolve to continue backing the war effort. You see that? So once this interview comes out and Putin tells his side of the story, which they have, if you watch Redacted, they have brought out some information on past episodes of that, this Russia-Ukraine war has been going on for 10 plus years unknowingly. You know what I'm saying? But it's just now that they've, Russia 2022, they sent troops in there, but this war been going on for a long time. All right. But yeah, now Tucker Carlson, he's on the hit list. You see? So yeah, hey, who knows, man? Tucker Carlson might have to be a martyr for bringing out the truth, man. Okay? Which these are times that we in. Israel to punish anyone who questions October 7th official narrative was 5 years. So we continue to see this thing of censorship, silence those who speak against us. We must control the narrative. All right. And of course, it speaks about that in Amos 8 and 11, that, basically there's going to be a famine of hearing the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. There's going to be a famine on truth, period, to a certain point. But people are going to seek a vision from the prophet. They're going to desire to know what's going on. They're going to be worried. They're going to be afraid, okay, because they're not going to know what's going on. And, that's going to be the time where prophesying is going to stop. It's not going to be no more YouTube epistles. It's not going to be no more highways and byways. All that's going to come to an end, you see. Because once these things happen, it's not going to be a need to prophesy. The whole point to prophesy is to tell you of something before it happens. So, yeah, we're telling you that a famine of the word is going to come. We're telling you that World War III is going to happen. We're telling you that these nations are going to gather together in the so-called Middle East to do this final world's war. We're telling you that Yahweh Shai is returning soon and that you must repent to escape the evils coming upon the earth. We telling you about Jacob's trouble. Understand? So once these things happen prolifically, it's not going to be no need to prophesy no more because they're happening. Okay, our job is to warn our people of the said evils to come before they happen. All right. So we just see that it's anti-truth. Yahweh Shai said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. You see, so if you can't accept the teachings of Yahweh Shai, as the scriptures have said, that you can't accept the truth, period. If you can't accept a simple truth as a car has an engine in it, if you can't accept that, then you can't accept Yahweh Shai, man. You see? That you got guys talking about, oh yeah, the writings of Apostle Paul are not authoritative, but Yahweh Shai said what? I come in the volume of the book. Lo, it is written of me. So Yahweh Shai is all throughout the scriptures. He's throughout the Old and the New Testament. It was all written of him. It testifies of him, man. So, and it really doesn't matter who wrote it, not taking nothing away from the prophets, but ultimately they were given the words to write down from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So it all goes back to the Lord anyway, man. The Lord put his spirit on these men to write down his words. So to say that Apostle Paul is not authoritative in your eyes, then you're rejecting Yahweh Shai, because who taught Apostle Paul? Yahweh Shai taught Apostle Paul and chose him directly, man. Which, I'm talking about the Sakari, which, the ancient Sakari, they didn't deal with Yahweh Shai anyway. They were worldly movement. They were out there to do their own thing. So, it just shows you that there's no free will. Everybody that's here today is back in their lot. Okay. They're back doing what they're supposed to be doing. You see? We can close out on this here. Okay. And this is wild, but again, call halal Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, because, we're in a time where the wicked, they can't hide themselves no more. Everything is being laid out on Front Street. The curtain is no longer there. The censorship is no longer there. It's for the whole world to see. Pope Francis orders Christians to pray to Satan for real enlightenment. So if you can't see this is the false prophet, it's something wrong with you. All right. 2 Corinthians 11 and verse. Let me start at verse 13. It says, "For such are false prophets." Salakia, for such are false apostles. Okay, which Pope Francis, one of his titles is what? The Holy Father, right? Which there's nothing holy about him other than his, set apart wickedness, man. All right, that's what he's on. This dude is a demon. This dude is fondling little children and all kind of stuff, man. We already know how to get down in the Vatican. All right, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Yahushua, or as it says here, Christ. All right, so he comes in the name of JC. All right, but he's a demon. All right, which that just shows you that anyone who's calling on the name of JC and you know the true name, you ain't right. All right, because when you call on the name of JC, man, that puts demons on you. Okay, that puts demons on you, man, and that's not the Lord's name. The Lord's name is Yahushua. It's not JC. The letter J wasn't invented until what 1534, I believe. So there's no way that people during that time was calling on the name Jesus. That was not his name. Okay, just like Yahweh's name is not God. That's just a title. You see? But he's calling on people to pray to Satan, to pray to Baal. You see? So this is not a man of the Lord. This is Satan's minister, man. This is the minister of unrighteousness. And we see all what they got going on in the church. Oh, they're approving of sodomite activity. They're saying that it's okay to be that way, and all kind of other madness that they pushing, man. All that rainbow stuff. Well, the Lord is not with none of that. Yeah, transforming themselves into the apostles of Yahushua, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness. And that's Pope Francis, man. All right. That's Pope Francis to the T. A wolf in sheep's clothing, man. That's what he is, a wolf in all those that follow his lead. Okay, all those that follow his example. They're all wolves in sheep clothing. They're all ravening wolves, man. They're set up to lead you astray, to destroy you. This is why over the past couple of years, you've been seeing so many damnable heresies come out of the Vatican. All right, which is why we told our people, man, Christianity is not it. You see, Christianity don't have nothing for you but destruction. But yeah, these people set themselves up as ministers of light, but they're really ministers of darkness. Okay, which, hey, he's leading millions of people to their own destruction, man. And even after this comes out, people are still going to follow this man, which shows you what? That the blind is leading the blind. They so blind, they can't even see, even though it's out in the open now, even though it's obvious that this man is under the vibration of Satan. He's working with the left hand. So yes, indeed, man. Yeah, the ministers that call themselves ministers of light, transform, man. And they're pushing a dark vibration upon the earth. And it says, if you thought Pope Francis couldn't possibly make it any clearer that he is a false prophet who worships the devil, you would be wrong. If you thought the pontiff who replaced the conservative Pope Benedict in a globalist coup orchestrated by Obama, Clinton, and Soros, couldn't find an even more disgraceful way to betray his followers than he has in the past, you would be wrong again. Pope Francis has outdone himself this time, putting his satanic cards on the table in the most shameless and blasphemous manner possible. That's right, he announced the coming of Lucifer and told his followers to get down on their knees and pay their respects. So look, all these people are going to be destroyed, man. Okay, him to the false prophets that are in these churches, especially in these black churches, man. Just preaching all this prosperity doctrine, all of them going to be destroyed. All of them going to be dealt with by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But he's openly pushing Satanism on the people. During a ceremony that Pope Francis demanded was broadcast to the entire world, the Jesuit Pope announced the imminent coming of Lucifer and followed up with some sickeningly blasphemous dogma. Pope Francis did not make clear the identity of Lucifer, the anti-Hamashiach, which, it's not just one anti-Messiah. Okay, there are many so-called antichrists. Okay, there is a spirit of anti-Messiah that's out here. Basically, if you're an unbeliever, then you're an anti-Hamashiach. You see, but Christianity, they push that doctrine of, it's going to be one man that's going to come and, he's going to be the anti-Hamashiach. No, that, there are many, so-called antichrists. According to Pope Francis, humanity must put his faith in WEF Forum founder Klaus Schwab as the man with the plan to restore nature to its position of primacy in the world order. Pope Francis's comments caused a storm in the Vatican, but should we really be surprised by his support for Schwab's Nazi-style eugenics program? As an agenda contributor at the WEF, Pope Francis is fluent in blasphemy and is actively working to subvert the church and Christianity in general. And you see that these devils, they're done with Christianity. Okay, Christianity was set up to deceive. It was set up to control the narrative, to take power. But now that it's failing, okay, people are waking up to Christianity and they're seeing that Christianity and the Bible teach two different things. Okay, and people have been made privy to that by the preaching of the prophets, okay, starting with the elders and apostles. All right. So they done with Christianity, man. It's why they're openly coming out and proclaiming their affinity to Satan. 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, verse 4, who opposeth and exalt himself above all that is called Yahweh, or that is worshipped, so that he as Yahweh sitteth in the temple of Yahweh, showing himself that he is Yahweh. You see? So this is that man of sin. All right? Which the man of sin, the son of perdition, that goes back to Esau, Edom. But look who the Pope is. He's an Edomite. Okay? He's a damn red demon, man. All right? So look, man, we're at the end of this thing. It's not much time left. This is why these things are coming out like they are. And we close out on this Revelation 19. Let me start at Revelation 19:19. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse. Which who was he that sat on that horse? Is Yahweh Shai and the host of heaven, right? And against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet. And Pope Francis, all right, he is that false prophet, the Pope. Okay, that whole Vatican council. Okay, that's the beast and the false prophet. Okay, the beast being the revival of the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, being a modern day America, NATO, and the EU. Okay, that's the revival of the beast. Okay, but we're in the last leg of the beast. Okay, or the second leg of this beast system. right? But the false prophet, that's the Vatican, the Pope. Yeah, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, which the mark of the beast is what? The RFID micro CHIP, the rice grain that according to Revelation 13 and 16 is either going to go in your right hand or your left, doesn't matter, or your forehead. That goes into the Neuralink, and also what they have called the wallet more, okay, which that's the implantable chip that'll go in your hand. The Neuralink is the one that goes into your forehead or your brain. All right, so people are going to receive that, and it tells you in Revelation 16 the penalty for receiving that. Okay, that you're going to get a grievous sore. That you're going to be tormented. You're going to be sore vexed. All right. Receive the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. Okay, and that's going to be when these ICBM nuclear missiles touch down. Okay, on this earth. All right. And it's going to be like a lake of fire, right? And all these wicked ass people, man, they're going to be burned up. All right. And the remnant were slain with the sword of them that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. You see, so that's going to be the latter end of these devils, man. Okay, they're all going to be destroyed. They're going to be censored. They're going to be silenced and put to rest once and for all. So with that, I'll close out here. Hopefully this lesson was edifying and informative through the Rakah Kadash. Until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect.